Welcome to the Muscogee County School District. Serving approximately 29,000 students across 56 schools and programs, and supported by nearly 5,500 dedicated professionals, MCSD is committed to excellence in education. Our vision is to be a beacon of educational excellence where all are known, valued, and inspired. Our mission is to inspire and equip all students to achieve unlimited potential. Together, we are building brighter futures for every student, every day. We are the Muscogee County School District.
Learning is thriving across our district as a new school year begins with energy, curiosity, and opportunity. From mastering the fundamentals in the classroom to exploring real-world challenges through hands-on experiences, students are discovering new ways to learn every day. In our elementary schools, young engineers are already designing, building, testing, and creating as they develop problem-solving skills and bring their ideas to life. In our middle schools, students are collaborating, innovating, and exploring new possibilities through engaging projects and technology. And in our high schools, aspiring scientists are conducting experiments, analyzing data, and uncovering the wonders of the world around them through exciting laboratory investigations and research. Every classroom, every project, and every experience is helping prepare students for a bright future. What will your student learn, create, and achieve this year? We can't wait to find out.
Where you going?
Let's make this an incredible year together.
Where you going? Back to school. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. You know what time. You know what time. You know what time. You know what time. Back to school.
Good afternoon. Welcome to our regularly scheduled August the 17th board meeting. Want to welcome everyone. We got a full house. Glad to see you out to support our promotions and student achievements and recognition. So thank you for joining us. I know we have some building leaders, and if you would just raise your hand, wave if you're on the leadership team at your school, that includes you too. So thank you so much for all that you do. Of course, we want to recognize our director of our library probably is here, Alan Harkness, and the museum, Marianne Rickner. And we also want to recognize MEEF with our fearless leader, Marquette McKnight. Want to recognize Andy Luker and Andy Helms on the board there. Thank you so much for joining us. And anybody else? All the parents. Okay, everybody welcome. So we will pause now for our inspiration with Miss Laura McCray. Microphone.
It's a short one, but a meaningful one. As we start a new school year, this inspiration says, "School is a building which has four walls with tomorrow inside." Let's all remember what we're striving for and helping prepare these children for. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And now we will have our scholars from Diamond Magnet Academy. And while they're coming in, I want to go ahead and tell you thank you before we forget. Diamond has these scholars are learning about farming, not just with the dirt, but with hydroponics. And this is some produce, some nice, the carrots. What do they call the carrots that are the different colors? Do they have a name? I'm sure they do, yeah. Thank you for the water, heirlooms, that's right. I knew I saw it somewhere, the heirloom carrots and all of our little trinkets. And thank you so very much, Diamond Magnet Academy. So we're ready for you guys. We're gonna start with the pledge.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Melody and I am in fourth grade. Today I will be leading the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. You may now be seated.
Hi, my name is Richard. I'm in fourth grade, and I have the character word of the month for August, positive attitude. An attitude is a feeling or way of thinking that affects a person's behavior. A positive attitude is a state of mind that envisions and expects favorable results.
Hi, I'm Emily Wilson, the principal at Diamond Magnet Academy, and I just wanted to say that I am thrilled to have the opportunity to be with you guys tonight. We have many, many exciting things that we could share with you about Diamond, but we have selected two to be able to share with you tonight. The first, as you all already know, Diamond is the only state-certified STEM school in Muscogee County School District, and we'd like to tell you a little bit about our transition from STEM to STEAM certification, in which we hope to accomplish within the next year. So our students are going to share with you a little bit about our school-wide driving question, as well as their year-long problem-based learning units.
Hello, my name is Regina Bush, and I'm a former fifth grader at Diamond Magnet Academy. Diamond's main goal is to cultivate resources and advocate to support the fundamental needs and insecurities within our community. Diamond is special because it is in a food desert. A food desert is an area where you will rarely find healthy foods. Part of the reason that Diamond is in a food desert is because of food insecurity. Food insecurity is when there's no access to healthy foods. Another reason that Diamond is in a food desert is because of food scarcity. Food scarcity is when there's little to no healthy food options.
Hello, my name is Dominic, and I'm in third grade. I'll be telling you what second grade does. In second grade, our partner, the pollinator pals from Columbus Botanical Gardens, teach us about the importance of pollinators and how to attract them so they help our vegetables grow at Diamond. This way, we have some to give to those in need in our community.
Hi, my name is Ellie. I'm in fourth grade. Third grade partners with 4-H and master gardeners from within our community. They teach us how to create nutrient-rich soil through composting. We then use it in our Diamond raised vegetable beds. Last year, third grade partnered with a local muralist, Chris Johnson. utilizing technology and arts. He assisted third grade in creating a collaborative mural that will assist Diamond for helping needs in our community.
Very good.
Hello, my name is Eva. I'm in 5th grade. Last year in 4th grade, we partnered with the Columbus Museum. They taught us about mass media. We decided to use, they taught us how to use outdoor media to educate the community about what Diamond does. We decided to use outdoor media, so we created a banner that links the community to information regarding what Diamond does each year and how they can help. This way, Diamond can advocate to support the fundamental needs and insecurities of our community.
Fifth grade's partners are Helping Hands, Ending Hunger, and Feeding the Valley. Fifth grade runs a food pantry called the Diamond Gym Food Locker. Diamond is using the food locker to help students at Diamond and people in the community who do not have enough food. Diamond's new partner is Columbus State University and the Bo Bartlett Center. We actually got to talk to Bo Bartlett himself and worked on a project with him. The theme was Let Your Roots Be Your Crown.
All right.
Bo taught us how to utilize the arts to help us gain support for our food lockers so that we can advocate and support for the needs for the people in our community.
Outstanding.
Hi, my name is Aiden. At Diamond, students begin learning coding and robotics each year in kindergarten, and we work on that each year. STEAM brings robotics and STEAM. Robotics brings together technology, engineering, and the arts. We don't just learn how to build and program robots, but we learn how to solve problems and make ideas come to life.
Outstanding.
Let's give our STEAM ambassadors one more big round of applause. And I just wanted to point out that thank you guys, because this is the beginning of the school year, and so our students are just now learning about our why and why we're our community outreach and about their projects for the upcoming year. That's the reason why they were sharing about the previous year. But we have a fabulous Diamond alum that came to share about fifth grade's project last year. And so I'd like to say a special thank you to Miss Regina Bush, who always represents Diamond so well, but also came out on her birthday to be able to share with you guys. So finally, I'd also like to say thank you to the board for approving the opportunity for Diamond to partner with Columbus State University and Columbus Technical College to create the Professional Development Lab School at Diamond Magnet Academy. And so tonight, Dr. Wetherington, who is the Director of Education and Community Initiatives at Columbus State, is going to share a little bit about, give you an update from our year one implementation and share about what the community can expect from year two.
Okay, and while you're coming, I want the parents and the school family of supporters of the Diamond Scholars to please stand so that we can recognize you. Woo! Outstanding. Congratulations. Good job, boys and girls. Thank you so much for sharing and teaching us about your STEM projects at your school. All right?
Right. Good afternoon, Board and Dr. Lewis. Thank you so much again for your foresight and approval of our Professional Development Lab School. Honestly, we could not have done this without you and your support. So again, thank you for that. I am happy to report to you that we successfully launched our lab school this past academic year alongside our partners MCSD, Columbus State across the entire university, Columbus Tech, and most importantly, Diamond's leadership, staff, and of course the students too. The infographic that you have in front of you does provide some insights into what we implemented this past year, but I do want to refer to a couple of things and highlight a couple of things for you this evening. So this year, we worked with more than 100 Columbus State students at Diamond, and they represented all of the colleges across our university. And through their service, we were able to provide extended learning opportunities such as Diamond's Lit Lab. That's an after-school tutoring program for students 3rd through 5th grade. We also offered one-on-one academic mentorship for students who could use a strong role model. We had gardening happening. Our Columbus State students learned how to garden and put together lots of things across the school. They assisted the teachers and the students in their STEAM efforts. And then we also offered a summer spectacular. That's an enrichment program this past summer at Diamond. And then we also had lots of folks out for special events such as Read Across America. And you can see on this slide, maybe not, our president and dean also showed up for that along with other leadership team members. Their service hours totaled 8,000 hours this past academic year. Yeah, that's wow. And so 100%, we asked them to complete a survey. 100% of them reported a deeper understanding of student and community practices, and 97% of them reported an increased workforce readiness. And a fun fact, only 40% of them are actually seeking teacher education. That means 60% represent all those other colleges across the university. So that's a really big deal. Next, in partnership with Columbus Tech, we served our families well. We offered family literacy nights once a month and free meals to them. We offered adult education coursework at Diamond. 7 Diamond moms received their early childhood education credential at Diamond in the spring semester. Yes. And as amazing as year one was, we are expecting something really big and better this next academic year. So we are going to expand the opportunities that we provided this past academic year, serving the whole child, the whole family. We're also going to increase adult education. Again, those courses offered at Diamond for Diamond's families. We're going to create more opportunities for families to engage with the school and their children and their learning. And then we're also going to begin to offer, I'm really excited about this, offering healthcare to the families and the students through the School of Nursing at Columbus State University, serving at Diamond. So just a little glimpse into the future, Board. We know that we are building a model that can be replicated across this district, and we can't wait to be a part of that process. And I'm going to leave you with one fun fact. So we are looking at our data right now of how many CSU students we're going to have coming to us this fall semester. We're going to double that number that I told you 100, where there's this past academic year. We're going to have about 115 just in the fall semester. So big and better for sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much for welcoming Diamond. Thank you to our students who did a fabulous job, as always, representing us. And thank you to our staff and families that came out to support Diamond tonight. And some of the goodies, as y'all mentioned earlier, that these are carrots that were harvested today by our students from the Diamond Gardens that we're sharing with you all tonight. So we hope that you enjoy, and thank you for the opportunity. Y'all have a good evening.
Outstanding. Good job. Good job. Thank you, parents and supporters. All right, I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion.
Motion by Ms. Chambers, second by Mr. Cantrell. Hand vote. All in favor, raise your hand. All right, the agenda is approved. We've already welcomed our visitors. Now we have our district-wide recognitions.
Good evening. I'm Kimberly Wright, Director of Communications, and these are our August board recognitions. Where did she go? I didn't go right here. The Muscogee County School District proudly recognizes Annie Lee, a student at Columbus High School, for being selected to serve on the 2026 Georgia School Boards Association Youth Advisory Council.
Woo-hoo.
Annie's written application and video submission demonstrated the insight, passion, and work ethic sought in student leaders selected for this statewide council. Through this opportunity, Annie will share her perspective and contribute to conversations with school board members from across Georgia. We congratulate Annie on this outstanding achievement and commend her for representing Columbus High School in the Muscogee County School District with excellence.
Thank you. Congratulations.
You could say something.
Hi, my name's Annie Lee. I'm an 11th grader at Columbus High School, and I'm very excited to be a part of the Youth Advisory Council, and I hope that I'm able to bring changes to schools around Georgia. Thank you.
Outstanding.
I now yield to Mr. Corey Neal to present the June and August Power We Awards.
Good evening. The June Power We Award is going to none other than Dr. Soraya Hendrick, the principal of Shaw High School. If you would give her a hand as she comes forward. And the submission goes as such. It is with great pride and admiration that I nominate Dr. Soraya Hendrick for the Power We Award. Dr. Hendrick is a shining example of what it means to lead with purpose, compassion, and integrity. Dr. Hendrick consistently holds herself and each member of the school community to the highest standards, not just through rigid authority, but through genuine investment in excellence. She leads by example, making it clear that there are high expectations, but she does so with respect and loving in a gentle way. Her commitment to continuous learning and improvement is evident in the way that she approaches her role. Dr. Hendrick actively seeks out professional growth opportunities, encourages collaborative learning among staff, fosters a school culture where growth is celebrated at every level. She understands that great leadership means never to stop learning. She's a tireless servant leader who consistently puts the needs of others first, whether supporting a struggling student, uplifting a staff member, or encouraging families in our community. Dr. Hendrick shows fully that she is committed to each and every one of us. Dr. Soraya Hendrick does not just lead a school, she leads with her whole heart. She not only has an open door policy, but also has an open heart policy. She's the very definition of the power we, and therefore there's no one other deserving of this honor than Dr. Soraya Hendrick, Shaw High School.
Congratulations, Doc.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
Thank you so much. Proud of Shaw High School, passionate about our purpose, and persuaded by the most holy God. I thank you to my Raider, Shaw-amazing faculty and staff, to families, to my friends, my sisters. I thank each and every one of you, to Dr. Lewis and the board. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve in such an amazing capacity, to serve this community, to serve our students and the families of Columbus. I thank you, and many blessings to each and every one of you. And to my faculty, you got me this time. I love you. Thank you.
Congratulations. I want to know how y'all pulled that off. Awesome. Congratulations. Well deserved.
We're now heading into our August Power We Award winner. And before we give the name and all the great information, let me say, after all was tallied, this nomination had more recommendations than any other nomination in the history of the Power We, with over 27 nominations.
Wow.
The August Power We Award winner is none other than Mr. James Peoples, custodian, Rainey McCullough School of the Arts. Give him a hand of applause. And just a few information from each of those 27 to 28 nominations. It is with great respect that I nominate Mr. James Peoples for this recognition. Every day, he exemplifies what it means to serve a school community with integrity, compassion, and unwavering dedication. He embraces equity and diversity by treating every person who enters our school with kindness and fairness. Regardless of a person's role or background, he offers the same warm greeting and helping hand and level of respect, creating an environment where everyone feels valued and welcomed. He holds himself and others to high standards through his exceptional work ethic and pride in maintaining a safe, clean, and inviting campus. He never seeks recognition for his countless tasks that he performs behind the scenes, yet his attention to detail and sense of responsibility are evident in everything that he does. He consistently models accountability and professionalism. His commitment to continuous learning and improvement is reflecting his willingness to embrace new procedures and adapt to changing needs as he finds better ways to support our school campus. Above all, he demonstrates a true heart for serving the needs of others, whether helping to prepare for school events, responding quickly to an unexpected situation, or simply offering encouragement to someone having a difficult day. He puts the needs of the school community before his own. His dedication extends far beyond maintaining our facilities. He helps create a school where students feel safe and cared for and supported. He's a shining example of our organization's core values, and his resilience, compassion, and unwavering commitment make him truly deserving of this honor. Mr. James Peoples.
Congratulations. Woo-hoo.
I'd like to thank Raymond McCullough Schools Office for giving me this opportunity to have this day for me today. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peoples. All right, so the family stand so we can recognize you, school family and his family. Thank you, Mr. Peebles, for all you do in setting the standard. Is that, Ms. Wright, is that all? Okay, all right. That concludes our board recognitions. Next, we will go into our public agenda. And we have 7 requests. The order is Laurie Reagan, Jaquita Bryant, Elliot Valdez, Shanika Whaley, Candace Ogletree, Taylor Mose, and Zawe. Lauren Reagan, are you here? All right, you can make your way to the microphone. And while you're en route, I will go ahead and read our background and rationale. All official meetings of the Board of Education shall be open to the press and the public. However, the board may meet in executive sessions. Speakers' remarks should be directed to the board and shall be limited to 5 minutes. Citizens are encouraged to address items on the board agenda or to initiate presentations of issues appropriate for school board consideration. If an individual desires to speak, they may contact the superintendent's office to be placed on the agenda. Board meetings or work sessions is not the appropriate place to address either criticisms of particular employees or individual parent complaints. When such complaints have not been first addressed to the attention of the appropriate administrator for a resolution, citizens are encouraged to follow the normal channels to address individual parent complaints or concerns. And now we have Ms. Lori Reagan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, members of the board, superintendent, and district staff. My name is Lori Reagan. I'm here tonight as a behavior analyst and as an advocate for students with disabilities and the families who depend on this school district to provide meaningful access to education. I'm here to ask the district to reconsider the decision to discontinue transportation from school to ABA therapy for students who receive this service. I understand that the district is looking for ways to reduce expenses. I also understand that transportation costs, including fuel, are real costs that have to be considered. I'm not here to suggest that the district shouldn't be fiscally responsible, but I am asking that we look beyond the immediate savings associated with gasoline and consider the larger educational and financial implications of this decision. For many students with disabilities, ABA therapy is not an extracurricular activity. It's an essential part of their treatment and development. For many families, the ability to transition directly from school to therapy is what makes it possible for their child to participate in both. If transportation is eliminated, some parents may be left with an impossible choice. Pick their child up from school and transport them to ABA, or enroll them in full-time ABA and remove them from school earlier or potentially altogether. And that brings us to a concern that I hope the district will consider carefully: FTE funding and student access to public education. If families begin pulling students from school because they can no longer make the logistics of school and ABA work together, the district may save some money on transportation while simultaneously losing students and the associated funding that supports special education services. More importantly, the students lose something that cannot be measured simply in dollars: access to their school community, their teachers, their peers, academic instruction, social opportunities, and the many experiences that make up a public education. This does not have to be an either-or situation. I believe there's an opportunity here for collaboration. I would encourage the district to sit down with families, special education administrators, transportation personnel, and ABA providers and look for solutions together. Perhaps there are ways to consolidate routes, establish designated transfer locations, coordinate schedules, or develop eligibility criteria that reduce transportation costs without eliminating the service entirely. I'm not standing here tonight asking the district to spend unlimited money. I'm asking us to make sure that in trying to save money in one area, we don't unintentionally create greater costs in dollars, educational opportunity, and family burden in another. The families affected by this decision are not asking for special treatment. They're asking for a system that recognizes the unique logistical realities of raising and educating a child with significant disabilities. And I believe the district wants the same thing we do: students attending school, receiving appropriate educational services, making progress, and remaining connected to their school community. So my request tonight is simple: pause this decision, engage the families and providers affected by it, and work collaboratively toward a solution that is fiscally responsible while preserving access to both education and medically necessary, clinically appropriate services. There may be a win-win solution here, and I hope together we can find it. Thank you for your time and for your commitment to the students and families in this district.
Thank you, Ms. Reagan. Go ahead and leave the microphone to the podium on. Next is Ms. Jaquitra Bryant.
right, so good evening. Let's see. So I'm Dr. Jakeisha Bryant. So I just want to start with when the school district becomes aware that a student who depends on district transportation, particularly a student with IEP or a 504 plan, will not have transportation, what is the district's required process for immediately notifying the parent and providing a contingency solution? That is the question I want to begin with tonight. I am a parent. I'm here as a parent, but I'm also here as a huge community liaison. And so many might not know that my son recently graduated from Rainey, and he had a 504, and we received accommodations. So I know what it looks like from several ends, from a behavioral standpoint as well as from a mom who fought for those services. And so I know the importance of a kid with consistency and the predictability that our children need. And so what concerns me is what happens after the district knows there's a personnel issue. So I listen, like many, that there's a personnel issue. I've also seen this nice bulletin outside, where there's hiring. So for a family, finding out that transportation will not be available can affect work schedules, childcare, attendance, and the child's ability to arrive at school prepared to learn. For some students with disabilities, an unexpected change in transportation can also create significant anxiety or dysregulation. A part of my background, not only as a mother, but I'm also a mental health counselor. So I know what it looks like when a kid is dysregulated and a kid has to go into school and now is being told to please sit down when their whole day is being disrupted. So again, as a mother, as a person who has a 504, another part of my story is not only did that 504 and our accommodations drastically help us to successfully graduate, but we also would carry that into college. So it is extremely important as we work together as one. And I'm still a parent who's extremely close to the staff. And so those plans are not just about like creating an advantage. They're about creating the conditions necessary for the child to access their education successfully. So I'm asking the district to consider 3 things. So I listened to the parents, I've watched all the concerns, and again, I've been at a seat behind. And so first, when the district knows transportation will be disrupted, parents should receive timely notice, not after they have already discovered that the bus is not coming. Second, consistency and contingency planning. From a behavioral standpoint, predictability does matter. If we expect children to regulate themselves and successfully engage in school, the systems around them also need to be predictable. And that includes what time a bus is coming and if it's coming at all. The district should have a defined backup process when transportation personnel are unavailable. So third, community partners. We're really big on community partnerships, or that we should be. If the issue is a staffing shortage, have we explored specialized private transportation? Providers that are already transporting children, including children with special needs, as a potential contingency partners. There are companies whose entire business model is built around children's transportation. I'm not suggesting that every provider is automatically appropriate or that this district should contract with a particular company. And I actually took it upon myself to call one myself and try to find out. So there was one, Evergreen. Evergreen actually gave me all the steps to whom to call and what person who's over the director of transportation to be a vendor, and was waiting. And so there is transportation right now available. And so I'm asking whether we have evaluated these available community capacity and established a process for using qualified third-party providers when necessary. And I think we also have to ask a broader question about priorities. When personnel challenges arise, how does the district determine where resources are allocated? We know there's been issues of funding and talk about finances. So if there are mechanisms available to address staffing needs in some areas, can we also consider whether resources can be used to prevent students from losing access to transportation? Because ultimately, this is not just about a bus. Transportation is about part of access. For a child with an IEP or 504, getting to school is the first step in being able to receive the education accommodations that have been determined necessary for them. So I'm asking the board to establish a clear standard of notification, contingency, transportation, accountability. And so that when a personnel problem occurs, the child and the parent do not become the ones responsible for solving the district's problems.
Perfect. Right on time. Thank you so very much. Mr. Elliot Valdez.
How you doing?
Was that just
Excuse me,
all
1 second, sir.
transportation, or was that transportation to the ABA?
You're asking that of the district?
I just didn't know what she was addressing. All of it, all
Okay.
sped transportation, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Elliot Valdez. I am the Democratic nominee for State House of Representatives here in Georgia for District 139. That's Muscogee County and Harris County. There's a lot of feelings and viewpoints about what's going on with the public school systems here in Muscogee County. I have some feelings of my own, but I think this job and what I'm running for the state of Georgia is not my opinions, but everybody in this room right here. And if people are not happy in this room right now, that's who I'm listening to, and that's who I'm representing for the state of Georgia here in Muscogee and Harris County. One of the things I want to talk about is as running for this campaign, I've noticed a lot of things in the school district. My son just graduated Shaw High School last 2 months ago, and it's been a whole progression for him and us moving here to Columbus, Georgia from 2016. He's been elementary school, middle school, high school, and we also had a EFMP family member with our son who all the schooling from Northside High School, that he was part of that education process. So we've been through the whole gamut on our family. So I'm very familiar living here. And what I'm seeing is the cause root of the problem of where we're at, I think, in a lot of troubles here in the state of Georgia, at least in Muscogee County. The big picture is the state of Georgia, and what we have is a little bit of some capitulation to an executive orders, not congressional orders, not federal laws, but executive orders from the president to hold the red states or all the states accountable in like a, headlock, hard rock, or a hard place, or a rock, because they've required the states to remove DEI. That's why lunches stopped getting fed to school children here in Muscogee County, because you're in a hard place to remove these DEIs programs. EBT school lunches, the One Big Beautiful Bill. That voucher system's now basically where we're at. We're just living where our tax dollars are now paying $6,500 for private schools from our tax money.
Okay,
right here in the state of Georgia. That's correct. And that money, it's like saying if I'm on a bus system, that the bus system now gets to pay me because I got my own private transportation. It doesn't make any sense. It's just a capitulation from the state to pay for things and services from taxpayer monies to private institutions. That's a failure of this state. There's no accountability, actually, for any of that. And I think there should be.
Excuse me, Mr. Elliott, are you trying to address a local issue for?
Yes, I think if the state would help and the city and the communities would help push back, that they don't have to follow what you are the regulating body here, and you can control this city and make it better. You get money and funding from the state, but I think that there's a better way to have better education here in Muscogee County.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, but, I don't want you to, make this a platform for your political
Absolutely
campaign.
not. Absolutely not. I'm
With
pointing out
touching
the
on a
root
bunch
problems.
of different broad points, because this is not the
Absolutely not.
the
This is the
appropriate
root problems. This is why we are paying $6,500 per student to go to private schools. Is tax money from the state, go on record, is tax money from all of our tax money paying $6,500 for students to go to private schools?
Are you finished?
I'm asking a question. It was a yes or no.
This is not a debate.
I know,
This
it's
is not
not.
a question and answer session for us. This
Absolutely.
is actually for, I don't know if you were here, the purpose of this opportunity for a public agenda is for citizens to address items
Yes.
that are specific to our board agenda, and not for your political platform.
Absolutely.
It is not for your
She just spoke about buses.
political
Why is
platform.
buses being taken away? It's because of these reasons. I'm telling you the reasons. People need to know.
Then, sir,
we educate to take
sir,
action.
I suggest that you hold a town hall meeting and not try to do that at
Yes.
our meeting, okay? Because we want you to address a specific agenda item and not your political platform. You're inappropriate,
Okay.
okay? And I'm going to respectfully ask you to give us one last sentence because your time is pretty much essentially up, and we don't even know what you're talking about because you've been all over the place.
Okay, sure. I didn't get to use all of my time, but I will say this. In the state of Georgia, the history of Georgia in education, it has a long history. And every election cycle, it gets worse in the state of Georgia. There wouldn't be this many people here if everything was going great. There are ways to change it. We can do that here in the city. Having a student that's come up through elementary, middle school, and high school and having a terrible, terrible suicidal impact while in school and middle school here for our education system. I'm telling you it's wrong. I have solutions and I can see where the problem is.
All right.
And
Thank
I
you
want
so
everybody
much.
in this
Thank you very
room
much
to understand that.
for being here. Hold on. There you go.
As a point of clarity, none of our students lost the ability to get lunches or breakfast. It's the same as it has been every year. So please don't get that started.
Thank you so very much. All right, next we will have Shanika Whaley.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Shanika Whaley, and I'm a parent of 3 children in the Muscogee County School District. I have a 10th grader, an 8th grader, and a 4th grader. I am here because over the last several years, I have experienced reoccurring problems with registration, transportation, testing, and most importantly, communication. Registration. Online registration. For 2 different school years, I moved during the summer and the online system would not allow me to update my address. I repeatedly asked for help and was told that someone would call me back, but those calls never came. This year, I went through 3 different schools to register my children for school before I got to the 3rd school where a Miss Joy Thompson was able to identify the problem and help me resolve it. I appreciate her help, but parents should not have to go through multiple schools to find someone who knows how to fix a simple registration issue. On registration day at Shaw High School for my 10th grader, I went to register my high schooler at Shaw, and staff was not able to answer any of the questions that I had or resolve the issue that I had. We were told to choose a date and a time to come back. I followed those instructions and scheduled an appointment during my lunch break from work. When I returned on the exact date and time that I had selected, the office was closed, the lights were out, and no one was there. I had to rearrange my workday and use my lunch break because I was following the process that I was given, only to arrive and find that no one was available to assist me. When I knocked on the door several times, the lady that did come to the door, she had an attitude with me and she was very upset. Parents should not be given multiple appointments that the school is not prepared to honor. In regards to transportation and student safety has become a very big issue for me as a parent. I cannot recall one school year when transportation was completely set up and confirmed for my children on the first day of school, even when our address had not changed. One year, I was told that my daughter did not have transportation home and that I would need to come pick her up on the first day of school. I took an hour and a half of PTO, went to the school, and spent close to an hour trying to find her, only for my daughter to call me and tell me, "Mommy, I'm already home." Even more concerning, when she was in the 4th grade, my daughter was supposed to be picked up by her daycare bus. The daycare was told that she was a car rider that day and that she was supposed to be picked up by a parent. My daughter had never been a car rider. I'm a single mother. Once they found out that she was placed on once they found out that neither one of them were on the same page as to where my daughter was, everybody went home. Nobody bothered to contact me or to find out where exactly this child was. Luckily at the time, I just so happened to be working from home that day. Somebody knocked on my door. "It's me, Mommy." It was my daughter. She caught a bus that she wasn't supposed to ride, but somehow, due to the parent that I am, I teach my children how to maneuver through situations like that, and she got home. Nobody knew where my child was. A 4th grader should not be missing from her assigned station without someone immediately determine where that child is. My son, IEP testing and communication. He has received IEP services and consistently shown improvement. In the 8th grade, he had a B in language arts. He had an 86, and he was passing all his classes. He did poorly on the English language arts portion of the GMAS. I was told that he would potentially be held back. I called, I emailed, I was trying to understand how his classroom performance, his IEP remediation, and other options would be considered. That was 2 years ago, and to this day, I am still waiting for someone to call me back. These calls never come. Parents should have a clear explanation when someone or their score may have a major effect on who is otherwise passing and making documented progress. Finally, communication is the common thread in all these situations. Too often, parents are told someone will call them back, pass from person to another, or given no answer at all. I do not expect every employee to know an answer, but I do expect for someone to know an answer on how to connect a parent to the appropriate personnel. And when an appointment is made, there should be accountability taken to make sure that that appointment is honored. I am here today because I am asking the district to improve their staff training, their communication between departments, their registration and transportation procedures, and accountability for parent follow-up. These are not issues from one day or from one bad school. These are experiences that I have had as a parent over multiple years across elementary, middle, and high school. Parents should not have to become experts in the district's internal processes just to get help for their children. I am only asking that we provide systems that work, staff who have resources to help us, and communication that parents can depend on. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, Ms. Whaley. Candace Ogletree. Taylor Mose. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening to the board and everyone here.
Good evening.
Hi, I'm Taylor Mose. I am a Columbus State graduate and an autism mom here in Muscogee County. I actually prepared a speech here that I wanted to give, but I don't find reason to go off speech anymore. I'm here regarding the transportation here in Muscogee County. As we know, many people, stakeholders, parents are upset about the decisions that have been made. I am a 26-year-old single mom, and I said a graduate of Columbus State, and I knew my daughter was autistic before she was 2 years old. I had her in all of the appropriate services, early childhood development, babies can't wait, speech therapy, occupational therapy. As you can imagine, whose dime that was on. Almost 5 years of services. I was relieved to know that my child would finally be in the district to where she would presumably get the services that she would need all under one house. You can imagine my feeling of being upset when I found out that that would not be a reality for my child and I. We live on the east side of town, and after the evaluation and accreditation of services, I was told that my child would be able to be placed into a special needs, specialized program. We traveled 15 minutes to the south side for her to go to an appropriate program. I found out that transportation services would no longer be coordinated after I was told they would be. I get my IEP meeting, things change, my voice is heard. I get a new placement all the way on the north side of town. My daughter gets to get all her services in one house, and she gets transportation services to ABA after school because of her proximity to those services. I want to ask this board if that raises any concern for them. Children on the south side and east side of Columbus missing out on services because of their proximity in town. It might not be a black and white thing, but it is a problem. Our children deserve quality education too. And I'm coming to you as a concerned parent, but as a community member. Not only will these children be raised by us with the services that they're missing, but they'll one day be adults that once needed these services. And I ask that you somehow bring it into your hearts and your minds to realize that these children are nothing without their services, actually. I don't know if it is the services not being placed in the right amount of areas or if the funding is not there, but some type of reconsideration for this overall is what's needed. And I hope that me coming to you as a parent and these people showing up will help you reconsider. And I didn't really have anything else to say. I don't want to get emotional. This is really near to my heart, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.
Thank you. So after the last speaker, Zawe, we kind of need an explanation because I'm not sure if the comments are related to, sorry, you have a question. Okay, related to services at the school or transportation to services after school. So you can just kind of be prepared to kind of give us some clarity. Zawe? Okay.
Hey, how y'all doing today? Hey. I hope y'all having an amazing day. I just wanted to say, my daughter has been diagnosed for autism since she was 2 years old. She has been doing amazing in Muscogee County School District with her IEP plan. She is doing sign language. She is able to learn shapes, colors, so many different amazing things. But even though I had a smooth transition into the Muscogee County School District, each parent that I have spoke to and I have, gave advice to start, they have had difficulties getting into the program. So that was one of my concerns that I wanted to say. It is not easy for everybody to get an IEP plan for their children. I did have a smooth transition, but for a lot of parents, it's difficult when their kid is like this in a normal classroom. It's hard for the other students to learn, and it's hard for them to comprehend as well when they're around students that are not on the same pace as them and they're going to different levels. So that was one concern that I had. And I wanted to speak to for other parents that are not here today to speak up for their children. But the other one was transportation. It has been so difficult for me to get her on the bus to ABA. It's also been hard for ABA, but that has nothing to do with Muscogee County. Now that I have been waiting since she was 2 years old, and she is finally able. And then I got the news that she was not going to get transportation. Now, this right here might just be 2 hours for y'all during the school meeting, but this is my day-to-day life. She is like this every day, all day. She has the energy, like y'all would not understand. She has the strength of a grown man. And it is so difficult for me to do it all on my own. And all I just need is transportation to get her from the school to the ABA. I finally got approved. The insurance covers it. Everything is great other than transportation. And it has been difficult for me to work because I'm the one who would have to take her. Working on school schedules like that around her schedule is so difficult. And we finally got it. That was the last thing. And it has been here for years. And I don't know where the funding went. But now that it is gone, it is extremely hard for me and other parents who have IEP plans, who their kids need help going to ABA therapy. Most of them, like somebody also said, they are on the north side. And it's difficult for us to get to and from there. But if we can pick our kids up, we just ask if y'all would get them there. And that's all I have for y'all today. I just ask that y'all reconsider that and please get funding to these kids. Because like I said, this is 2 hours to y'all, but this is our lives. And it's going to be more children like this who are going to be delayed because they don't have that stability to get them to that ABA. ABA can mean so much to a child who has autism to finally get that help that they need. And I know so many people, I used to think, wow, I'm probably the only mother affected by this. But since I made the post and since they talked about coming to the school board meeting, I am seeing so many parents who are affected by this. There are so many people and children who are affected by autism nowadays. And it's more common than we think. And it's only going to get worse if we choose to take away stuff that goes to these funding of these programs that these kids need. Only thing she needs is ABA. That's the last step. The IEP plans is amazing. The teachers are amazing. I love that y'all created that program, and it is doing great. I just need everybody to have that same equal transportation and equal right to get those services. So thank y'all so much. I just hope y'all consider that, and y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you so very much. Dr. Lewis.
I just have a couple of I know you're about to explain, but I think as board members, there's a couple of questions that we may have as well. So if I could just get a couple of those out. I know you're about to explain it, but if you would explain to the board a clear explanation of why it was necessary to pull the transportation, and then what other solutions did we consider before we pulled the transportation? I also wanted to know how many students are we transporting or were we transporting? And who are our ABA providers? And then it is my understanding that if the child has an IEP and the IEP includes transportation, that we are still transporting those students. I want to clarify that we're not doing this by north, south, east, and west, that it is specific to children and it has to be in their IEP. And then the last thing, the IEP process. Now, it's been a while since I was a teacher, but we had a student support team. You referred the child. If the group decided that the child, why would that be a hard process? Has the process changed? And again, I'm just trying to clarify just some statements. What is this, how do we get the children on an IEP? And then those children who are not being transported and parents feel like they still should be and it's necessary, can they then include it now in their IEP so that they can get the transportation that they need?
Okay, so we have not stopped transportation for students based on IEPs. If they have transportation in their IEP, transportation is still available.
If I may just clarify, there is nothing impacting any transportation to and from school. It's from the school to the ABA services, what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So they
But as
still
far-
have transportation from home to the school, but not from the school in the afternoon to the.
And you can address that, Mr. Knopf?
It's available, well, they have transportation as an option to and from school to home. Yeah.
Is it ABA? Hit your microphone, man.
Do they have an option of the transportation to ABA
No.
is what, so that's what we're trying to get to.
Okay.
But also clarify, because there are some
Right.
parents that are saying that they are not offered the transportation. And again, we're just trying to understand. And then I think there may be some misconceptions since this is new. And then maybe as a community, we can come together, talk about what is available.
Sure.
How can we get the children that need it, how can we get transportation added to their IEP so that they're not losing out on services that they need?
So we did look at, or we began to explore third-party options as one of the possibilities. It's at this point, it's not budgeted, but that is something that we're exploring. The decision was based on the fact that we were having difficulty, it was creating cascading problems with the routes, and the appointments are out of the way, and so it was causing delays in the other tiers of transportation, which I think Dr. Anderson could speak more to that specifically. But that was the rationale for the decision.
So let's be clear, because it's about not having enough drivers.
Well, it complicates. No.
Hold on, okay. We're gonna ask our questions so that we can understand what the direction of the administration is going, and hopefully some of our questions will help them clarify information.
What Chief Knopf referred to as far as the delay is not because we don't have enough drivers. We have the drivers to drive to ABA. The issue was what we were receiving is that the ABA providers were not able to receive the students. And so Ms. Thornton presented last week, when the bus would arrive to the ABA provider, they are looking for the students to be there at a particular time for appointment. And if that appointment did not align with the bus's schedule, then oftentimes there would be no one who would come out to receive the child. And so that bus would sit there with several other students on the bus, waiting for someone to come out and to receive that child, because we have to transition that child from one adult to another. And if the ABA provider did not have a system set up to receive the child when the bus arrived, then that meant that we would not be able to continue on with the route, and it would impact everyone else who had a child on that route. Also, if the bus did not get there in time for the appointment, they would not necessarily receive the child, and then we would have that child and have to bring that child back to campus. And so that was the issue. That's the delay issue that he's referring to. It's not because we don't have enough drivers to do the service. It's because the ABA providers were not able to receive the children the same way like a daycare receives the children or that home receives children.
So are the providers, are we having a conversation with them so that they can have someone prepared to receive the children if the bus arrives early?
Yes, we've had conversations with them, we've requested, and some of them, we can't force them to take the child. And so there have been situations in which the bus is there, they're ready to deliver the child, and no one will come out. And so we can't force them to take the child, and we've had those conversations.
Okay,
with
so
those
let's do
providers.
this, let's do this. If each of you can answer Ms. Chambers' questions for the record, and then I would really like for the parents to have an opportunity to speak to you all, because it's gonna be different situations for all of the parents, and they don't seem to all be talking about the same thing from listening to the presentation. So to address their specific concerns, because we certainly don't have the answers here, because this is your area, this is your lane. And I think it would be really helpful to communicate specifically and directly with the impacted families, and then let us know, what's the best opportunity to service the students. Just tell us what, because it's just like different issues going on, and we just really need to talk to them. You need to have communication. And so answer Ms. Chambers' questions, if you would, and then we can go on with our agenda. Oh, okay, hit your microphone.
Do I need to repeat the questions or? Repeat the questions, okay. I think it's important that we as a board understand how many students are being affected. So my first question was, how many students were we transporting that now we are not transporting to the ABA services, okay? And then who are those providers? Because it sounds like some of this may lay, some of the responsibility may lay on the provider cooperating with the district. And if that can be worked out, then perhaps, we can come to a solution. So who are those APA providers? And then you've answered the question about the IEP. I want to make sure parents understand, if it's in the IEP, no matter what side of town you're on, you should be provided with transportation. And then the last thing was about the IEP process. I want to make sure that that has not changed, and that if a parent feels like maybe it wasn't in the IEP at first, but it's going to be detrimental to the education of the child, and we need to add it to the IEP, what does that process look like? What do they need to do? Yeah.
So I'll start with that one. A parent can request an IEP meeting at any time. Yes. It doesn't have to be, usually they have to be done annually, but they don't have to wait annually to do that. If there's
Right.
concerns, they can bring those concerns to the school and to the case manager and get an IEP meeting. And that, we would encourage them to do that, because the only way to fix the problem is through an IEP meeting. No one can singularly solve a problem for an IEP without there being an IEP committee meeting. As far as the number of students, it's about 50. I'm not sure about the providers in the area in terms of who they are. So I don't know, Dr. Anderson, if you know which providers were difficult. Yeah.
You can get it to us, and
Yeah.
don't mean to put y'all on the spot. You
Yeah.
don't have to answer tonight.
Okay.
I think that if the board has a better understanding, perhaps we could work together to come to a solution. But that's, I mean, you don't have to answer tonight, but definitely that information would be helpful.
Sure.
Because it sounds like.
Hit your
we're having a
microphone.
problem. We have to know who the providers are, because if we're gonna work together to come up with a solution, we have to have a conversation with those providers. So we have to know at some point who they are, how many of them we have. And so if we're talking about 50 students, I think probably, as you said, it's gonna have to be some individual conversations.
Yeah, because they're different.
But I do think that if parents understand that they can add it to the IEP, I think for the students who critically need it, because we can't make that decision. The educators in the building know whether or not the child critically needs the
I think it's probably gonna
transportation.
come from their physician, right?
But the physician,
It's gonna come
okay.
from their
It's a
physician.
Physician
medical,
order.
it's medically based.
It's
so
a medical,
Okay.
those are medical services.
But the number of 50 students, these are the students who lost their transportation,
Approximately, yes.
approximately. Okay.
Can I correct that
Tillery?
number just for 1 second?
Ms. Tillery?
I just want to correct that
Oh,
number.
I'm sorry.
Last year, we serviced 82 students.
82 students?
It ranges between, year to year, it ranges between 50 and 90 students. Last year was 82.
And I just wanted clarification on the transportation. Every student is provided transportation from their home to school and from school to their home. If it's in the IEP, then they have transportation to the ABA. No.
We don't write the ABA into the IEP.
So what is the transportation in the IEP referring to?
It's the specialized transportation because we're required to do door to door. So it covers door to door.
But everyone has transportation from their house to the school as an option. And then the IEP is just a specialized option from the door to school.
No, not everyone gets specialized transportation that has an IEP.
Yes, if it's in there though.
If it's in there, yes.
Yes.
If it's in
but
there, yes.
Everyone has the opportunity to ride a bus to school and get to school and get home from school.
Yes,
If it's written into the IEP.
no, just,
I'll take it, Patrick.
everybody's not eligible.
Patrick,
I think the transportation question need to be answered by
I'll
Mr.
take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. We offer transportation for all students, regardless of whether you are a special needs student in the PES program or a traditional education student. In the IEP for students with special needs, it will provide specialized transportation to meet their specific needs. So that transportation not only addresses the ability to receive transportation door to door from their home door to the school, but also whatever special services they may need. If they're a wheelchair-bound student, if they need a harness, and all of those types of things, that's what the IEP specialized transportation addresses. And it guarantees them transportation. The law only requires a school district to provide transportation to those students who have an IEP-driven transportation. So that's why it's really important that is identified in the IEP for transportation purposes, because that is the only transportation by law we're required to provide. That is why students with special needs have an IEP-driven transportation protocol. Does that make sense?
But
Okay, all right, Ms. Buckner?
I was just gonna add to, Dr. Anderson that all special ed students, don't require specialized transportation.
That is correct. Not every student who receives specialized services qualifies for specialized transportation.
The specialized transportation is decided, at the special education meeting, and it's a committee meeting, a committee decision. If a parent may request a meeting, and they may want a certain specific thing, if the IEP committee does not agree, the committee does not agree, then they have to work until they come to consensus or agree. So as the parent requests an IEP meeting, it does not necessarily lead to what the parent wants. We've been talking to me, as I listened to all the people who came up here, it's basically ABA conversation. And, there was some discussion about miscommunication. Nobody was calling people back, and to me, that's very big. We need to look at that. People need to be called back. Communication, it should be clear. When these parents call, somebody should call them back. And so we need to work on that part.
No question.
So, but if we could get, I'm listening to, our people don't really know the ABA providers. So to me, some solution may take place if we coordinate with whoever the ABA providers are and see if some solution can be worked out in terms of maybe they can meet y'all. I don't know, but have we done that? That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
We have met.
We don't have transportation, period. That is the issue. Our children don't have a ride from home to school.
Okay.
And that's
All
what I
right,
was trying
so,
to,
so hearing that,
start there.
back to my original statement, the cabinet, Dr. Lewis, is going to have to, meet with the parents, and address these very specific and pressing issues so that, we can, A, be in compliance with the requirements of those IEPs, and B, service our families and our students. And I just want us to have a conversation specifically and directly with the parents, because this shouting in the room, talking to us, who don't make those decisions about the transportation, is not going to get resolved. But we charge the superintendent to direct his folk to get it handled, to get your needs addressed, to get your needs met if we can, get that done. That's what we're doing tonight.
And the main thing
Okay.
is transportation from home to the school, not just ABA. That's the biggest thing, is that's the one.
All of it.
But-
It's all
yeah.
all
All of
of it.
All of it.
Right.
All of it, because there are different needs for everybody. All of it's gonna have to be addressed. All of your needs, we want them to be heard. We want them to be addressed, and we want a resolution. And we appreciate your patience, and I really, truly thank you for coming. We didn't have to have all the theatrics. I won't call it theatrics, all of, yeah, we don't do theatrics. We didn't have to have, we didn't have to have the agenda meeting, but we appreciate it. We thank you for coming and bringing this to attention so we can get it resolved this week.
From school.
I would,
Check with her about the transportation.
Ms. McCray.
I would like to know, because again, this decision was made without the board. So I would like to know a lot more about when it was made. I know one of the big issues was that it was not communicated until about 2 weeks before school started. Or okay, the day of. So I would like to know more about that. I would like to know more about what we have looked into third-party vendors, because I really don't want to hear that we can't afford to do it. We take children to sports, we take children to a lot of things. So if there's no one that can do it, then we'll have to revamp. But I don't want to hear that this is a budget issue. And I say this as the person that harps about the budget a lot, but this is not a budget issue.
Nope, it's
It
not a
might be a
budget issue.
transportation issue, but we need to do everything we can to look into other options to how to get these children where they need to go. It also sounds like we had issues with some ABA providers, but yet we stopped it to all of them, which also does not seem fair, because if there were some ABA providers that were willing to accommodate things like early arrival, late arrival, then those students should have still been able to keep going there. To me, this is more of an issue of if there's a service provider that we're trying to get them to, and that service provider is not working with us, then we need to address those individuals, not make blanket decisions.
For everybody.
That affects everybody.
That's right. That's right. One more question, all right? Dr. Chambers.
So there are several issues that have been brought up by parents. Who do they need to reach out to in order to have this one-on-one conversation? Are they still starting at the school level? Are they calling the chief? Are they calling Dr. Anderson?
Dr. Lewis, it should be
how
from the district
are the
level.
parents going to rectify this problem? Who do they call?
Dr. Lewis, who are you going to assign?
If it's an IEP, we need it to go, who do you want the IEP questions to go to? To Patrick
Dr.
Knopf.
Knopf.
And your email address is? Wait,
I tell you what, you know who the parents are, right? You know who the parents are? So I tell you what, for the ones who are here who can't get a response or reply, but you should know who the parents are, sir. And we need to communicate out to those parents directly and specifically. And if you want to collect the names and addresses here, please make an opportunity to do that so that the parents can be contacted.
And I may regret saying this.
Oh,
but
wait a
I
minute.
probably won't, but always know that our emails are on the website. Reach out to your board member whenever you are having frustrations and not getting answers. And we will do our best to make sure you do. I'm sorry that it comes to that at some points, but our emails are very accessible and we would like to hear.
And you're absolutely right, and I retract that. It's not theatrics at all. What I was trying to say is, I regret you had to come down here to our board meeting to get that done. I absolutely regret that. That was definitely a wrong choice of words. You absolutely right on that. Absolutely right. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
So, Patrick is gonna talk to the parents tonight to get their names.
Somebody should be moving in the
Tonight.
direction to get it collected.
Okay, so the parents could, I guess, go to the back to meet with them.
Are there any other questions?
Oh, hit your thing. Ms. Butler.
But I think there's, they can get those names and it'll be good. But what Mrs. McRae had, what Lori has, the suggestion that she made, it seems to be almost solving the problem. She said for them to readdress, meet with the ABA providers. And she said that we shouldn't be having such an important issue as the ABA person said, by being a matter of treatment and development. So I think for all the issues now, I think what she suggested will solve most of it, except that communication problem. As I said, there's no reason for people not to be receive communication back from parents. Now, we just need to work on it, and Dr. Lewis agreed when I said that. There's no reason for parents to call and email and nobody respond to that. So we're gonna have to work on that. We got to figure that out. But what Ms. McRae said sounds very good for solving, most of what we're dealing with here.
All right, so your team is taking care of that. Now we will move into our action agenda. Superintendent is recommending the appointment of Mr. James Short as the educational leader, assistant principal at Rothschild Leadership Academy. Motion by Dr. Chambers, second by Ms. Jackson. Are there any questions? We're ready to vote now? You want to say something? Kia, you want to say something? Okay. Did you get it? All right, that passes. Congratulations, Mr. Short. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
God is good. I'm truly honored and humbled to accept this opportunity to serve as assistant principal at the Rothschild Middle School. To the Board of Education, Superintendent Lewis, district leaders, Principal DeLoach, and the Rothschild Middle School family, thank you. Superintendent Lewis, thank you for believing in me and giving me this opportunity to return to a community that means so much to me. Again, thank you. Principal DeLoach, thank you for your support as I look forward to your wisdom, mentorship, and willingness to invest in me. Friends, family, and previous leaders, your support is paramount and cannot be put into words. Thank you. Lastly, I'd like to honor my mother, who worked as a Muscogee County School District custodian for 24 years until her 2020 departure. Cancer sucks. She taught me to see it through. She taught me hard work, humility, integrity, morality, and always told me, Junior, no matter what your position is, treat people with respect, then let your work and character speak for itself. Assistant Principal Short is my new title, but I promise to lead with those traits my mother instilled in me in 1996. This journey started in November of 2014, and I'm thankful. Thank you, and let's continue to make a difference together. Go Rothschild.
All right. Okay, for the Rothschild family here, I recognize you. Congratulations, sir. Let me get back to my. All right, next agenda item, superintendent is recommending Ms. Stephanie Dalton Falk. So motion by Ms. Jackson, second by all of us, to serve as Director of Elementary Education. Are there any questions? We're ready to vote now. So we'll say second to Ms. Buckner, since you gotta have somebody in particular. Okay. All right, congratulations, Ms. Dalton, Ms. Falk.
Take my picture. Put my glasses on. Oh, goodness. Good evening, Superintendent Dr. Davis Lewis, Madam Board Chairperson, members of the board, esteemed cabinet members, fellow educators, family, friends, and guests. It is truly an honor to stand before you this evening and share this moment with you. First, I give honor to God because without Him, none of this would be possible. Psalm 37:23 reminds us, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. I am grateful that God has ordered my steps and continues to guide me on this journey of service. Today, I stand before you humbled and honored to serve as the Executive Director of Elementary Education. I recognize that disappointment is more than a title. It is a charge, a responsibility, and an opportunity to serve our students, educators, school, and district at even a greater level. I would be remiss if I did not take a moment to acknowledge the people who have shaped my journey, invested in my growth, and prepared me for this opportunity. First, to my husband, Dr. Stephen L. Falk, thank you for your unwavering support, wise counsel, encouragement, and love. You have been a constant source of strength, and I am grateful to have you by my side.
To my family, especially my mother and church family, thank you for being some of the greatest supporters. Your prayers, encouragement, and belief in me have meant more than my words can ever express. To my son, who is watching on YouTube, thank you for always encouraging and supporting me. You have been my tech guy, treat bag assistant, and whatever else I need a guy to do. Your love and support will never go unnoticed, and I am extremely proud of you. I am also grateful for the leaders who have invested in me throughout my professional career. Dr. Tim Smith, thank you for providing me with a platform to grow as a district administrator and for challenging us to become strategic thinkers who make a positive impact on educators and students. I'm equally grateful to the regional chiefs, Terry Baker, Marty Richburg, and Tamara Magwood, for your partnership, guidance, and support as we work together to plan and support our schools. You got to know they're thought partners, so that's why they came out so easily. Your investment in me as a leader has made a tremendous difference in my growth and development. I also would like to recognize the DTL directors and team. Thank you for your unwavering support as we partner with schools to create positive change. I value your commitment, collaboration, and partnership, and I look forward to continuing that work with you in a different capacity. To Christine Hull, my new partner in this work, I am excited about what lies ahead. I look forward to collaborating with you, our strike team members, principals, and the curriculum and instruction department as we raise the bar, surpass our comparative school districts, Dr. Lewis, and exceed state expectations. I believe there is tremendous potential in what we can accomplish together. And finally, to Dr. Lewis and our school board members, thank you for entrusting me with this responsibility. I do not take this lightly. As I step into this role, my commitment is simple: to move with a sense of urgency, lead with purpose, collaborate with intention, and always put students first. That will be my moral compass, that will be my commitment, and that will be the heart of my leadership. Thank you, and may God continue to bless our students, our schools, and our district.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Ms. Dalton, you have to stand up so we can wave. It's Ms. Dalton. And then you, husband, Mr. Falk. Congratulations, well deserved. All right, Ms. Buckner.
Oh, excuse me. I want to, of course, to congratulate Ms. I've got to say it right because I want to go back to Dalton, but Fault. So, and I also want to say to Mr. Richburg, see, that's what you get when you leave. Okay. All right.
Well, it's easy to trip up on some words. Y'all saw what I just did when I said theatric. Huh? Big trip. Didn't mean that at all. All right, so anything else? All right. Next, we have item number 3, policy revisions for GARH employee leaves and absences. Laying on the table. We'll be back next month to vote on that. And item 4 is our board travel resolution. Motion by Dr. Chambers. Second by Ms. Buckner. Are there any questions? We're ready to vote now. The motion was Dr. Chambers. And second by Ms. Buckner. All right, that passes. Next item is board training plan for 2027. Motion by Dr. Chambers, second by Ms. Buckner. Any additional questions? We're ready to vote now. All right, that passes. And next we have our consent agenda. Are there any particular items we want to ask any questions about or vote on separately? All right, need a motion for the consent agenda. Motion by Dr. Chambers, second by Ms. Buckner.
On last week,
Say that again, I'm sorry.
I say, I'm, offering, seconding the motion and also saying that we have discussed all of these on the consent agenda last week in the work session.
In our work session. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for the disclaimer. We are ready to vote now. Did it pop up yet? Okay, all right, consent agenda passes. All right, thank you. Also, Dr. Lewis, can bring us any updates? You got
Yes.
something to share?
Just like to recognize Veterans Memorial Middle School was recognized by the Ledger Enquirer as the gold winner for best middle school. And Northside, for the second year in a row, was recognized as the gold winner as well. So congratulations to them for being recognized by the Ledger Enquirer for outstanding performance and being an outstanding school. Really proud of them. Congratulations.
Anyone else have anything? All right, I need a motion to go into executive session for property and personnel and legal matters. I think I heard a motion by Ms. Frey and second by Ms. Chambers. All in favor, just wave goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for your patience.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around.